Carl Jung once said, "No matter how isolated you are and how lonely you feel, if you are doing your inner work truthfully and with dedication, unknown friends will come and find you." But what if the friend you're waiting for isn't out there at all? What if the part of you that could truly save you, the one who knows your wounds, your rage, your longing, has been locked away inside you for years? Maybe you've spent your life looking for belonging, performing, pleasing, shrinking, trying to be the version of yourself the world would approve of. But deep down, there's another version of you, one you buried to survive. The one who remembers who you were before the world told you who to be. Maybe that friend is trying to return. Maybe it's your shadow. Let that sink in. Most people spend their lives searching for love, approval, and connection, seeking it in other people, other places, or accomplishments. But the deepest connection, the one that truly liberates us, often comes from the part of ourselves we've tried hardest to deny. The shadow is not your enemy. It's not some demonic force hiding in the dark. It is you. It is your sadness, your anger, your jealousy, your desire, your ambition, your hunger, your wildness, your unmet needs, and above all, your truth. These are the parts of yourself you were told to silence, especially in childhood, when you were taught which emotions were acceptable and which ones were not. But those parts didn't disappear. They didn't heal. They simply got buried. This is the essence of the shadow, a collection of exiled truths. It's a sacred container for every piece of your humanity that was labeled too much, too intense, or not enough. Because they weren't allowed to be seen in the light, they began living in the dark. But here's the twist. Just because you can't see the shadow doesn't mean it's not influencing you. In fact, it often shapes your life more than your conscious self ever could. It's the hidden hand behind your emotional reactions, the silent whisper behind your need to please, the invisible script beneath your anxiety, your shame, and your guilt. Carl Jung believed that unless we become conscious of the shadow, we remain enslaved by it. Not because the shadow is malicious, but because it's powerful and repressed. What hides in the dark isn't just your pain, it's your power. The shadow isn't the part of you that needs to be destroyed, it's the part that needs to be remembered. To Jung, the shadow wasn't a flaw, it was the missing half of the soul. And the process of integrating the shadow wasn't about embracing darkness, it was about reclaiming wholeness. Facing what you've buried. Here's the truth. The shadow doesn't need your perfection. It needs your presence. And presence begins with honesty. Radical, gut-wrenching honesty. Not, "I'm fine, but I'm still hurting." Not, "I'm okay, but I'm afraid." Not, "I'm over it, but I feel angry." This is not easy. It's not comfortable. But it's where healing begins. Carl Jung said we must constantly examine ourselves. What am I avoiding? Why did I react like that? Who am I blaming for the parts of me I haven't owned? This is not surface-level introspection. This is soul excavation. Most people don't do this kind of work because it demands courage. The courage to stop performing, to stop hiding, to stop pretending. But when you do something profound, opens up inside of you. Jung used tools to help with this journey. Simple but sacred mandalas, drawings that reflect the unconscious journaling, raw, unfiltered self-expression. Meditation, not to escape the mind, but to hear what lies beneath it. These aren't techniques, they're rituals. They are bridges between your awareness and your soul. They allow you to speak to the parts of yourself you've locked away, not with fear, but with curiosity. They invite you to ask the question most people spend their lives avoiding. What have I been hiding from myself? The shadow's secret language. Do you find yourself constantly judging others? That right there is the shadow speaking. It's called projection, and it's one of the most common ways the shadow reveals itself. When you suppress a trait in yourself, you become hypersensitive to it in others. If you've buried your need for rest, you'll judge others for being lazy. If you've repressed your desire for attention, you'll label others as selfish. If you've denied your sensuality, you might see others as inappropriate or too much. But those judgments, they're not just reactions, they're mirrors, they are messages. And every time you pause and ask, why does this bother me so much, you peel back another layer. You get closer to your truth, closer to your freedom, because the shadow is not trying to harm you. It's trying to remind you of what you've forgotten. The gifts hidden in darkness. Let's talk about the traits we've been taught to despise: greed, anger, pride, laziness. We're told to eliminate them, to banish them. But Jung suggested something far more revolutionary: integrate them. Because even the darkest parts of the shadow carry messages, and if you're willing to listen, they will reveal the wisdom they've been guarding. Greed might be a cry for self-worth. You've been settling too long. Anger might be a call for boundaries. You're not being respected. Laziness could be sacred exhaustion. You've been pushing too hard for too long. Pride might be the soul saying, remember your worth. The shadow isn't trying to take control. It's trying to collaborate. It doesn't want to sabotage your life. It wants to help you stop sabotaging yourself. Your shadow is your hidden genius, but it won't hand you its gifts without a relationship. The becoming of your true self. Jung once wrote, becoming conscious of the shadow is the essential condition for any kind of self-knowledge. And self-knowledge is the only path to authenticity. When you ignore the shadow, you start living a life of performance. You present the version of yourself that is good, acceptable, and safe. But inside you feel hollow, fragmented, lost, because you've abandoned the wildest, most vivid parts of yourself in the name of fitting in. But when you start reclaiming what you once buried, something sacred happens. You remember your edge. You rediscover your fire. You reawaken your intuition, your creativity, your voice. The shadow doesn't just hide pain. It hides potential. The dreams that were too big. The ideas that were too weird. The parts of you that dared to shine too brightly. And once you bring light to that darkness, you stop apologizing for who you are. You stop seeking permission. You start living like your truth was always sacred and never too much. Shadow work is not linear. It's a dance. Let's be honest, shadow work isn't clean. It's messy. It's confusing. And just when you think you've healed something, it resurfaces. But this isn't regression. It's rhythm. It's the spiral of growth. Healing is not a straight line. It's a dance. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Sometimes sideways. Sometimes still. There will be days when your shadow deceives you. It'll tell you to fight when you need to forgive. It'll tell you to run when you need to rest. It'll tell you to rebel when you need to reflect. That's why you can't follow it blindly. You have to build a relationship with it. You have to ask, what am I really afraid of right now? What truth am I resisting? Is this a wound, or is this wisdom? And from there, you choose not from fear, but from clarity. The final truth: the shadow isn't here to destroy you. It's here to awaken the part of you that can't be broken. The version of you that isn't bound by shame, guilt, or people-pleasing. The one who knows that the light you've been searching for was always hidden inside the dark. So don't run from your shadow. Talk to it. Listen to it. Challenge it. Let it test you. Let it teach you. Let it transform you. Because you are not broken. You are becoming, and your shadow. It is sacred. If this message moved, you don't walk away quietly. Like, share, subscribe. Come explore our Philosophies for Life playlist, a place of healing, awakening, and deep remembering. Because somewhere deep down you've always known the light you seek lives inside the dark.